Welcome! Today I'm going to go through the first initial stages of how you can get into voiceover work today, right now. Yeah. And what I'm just going to go through is my personal experience and what I recommend you to be doing right now before you get to the point of getting representation. I'm going to talk about all the topics very briefly, but if you would like me to go through them in a bit more depth, just let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to go through all of them basically, because there's a lot more to explain about it, but I wanted this to be a bit more quick and snappy video so it gets straight to the point and like what I'm doing right now. But yeah, the first one to get into the voiceover industry, literally like that, is getting a voice show reel. Once you have that, you're able to basically demonstrate all your abilities and skills and your range of characteristics in everything that you can do to the casting directors, producers, you name it. You can literally send it to them or the casting calls that you see, and they can pretty much see what you're able to do there and then. Okay, before you come for me, I understand that this one can sometimes take a while to develop, but I'm just letting you know that once you do have a reel, whether it's just 1 to, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 clips, whatever you have, you just slowly build that up and then you're able to show more of a range of what you have over time. Second one is home studio. Now this is personally what I did myself. So over the years I would invest into my home studio, just upgrading the equipment as much as I could whenever I could, and just slowly developed my quality and quantity of what I was able to do and literally able to give to the auditions and to the casting calls. Doing it at home is a massive advantage, especially when, you know, there's the risk of us being in lockdowns and things like that. So it has made it so much more accessible for so many more actors getting a home studio, whether it's just a microphone or the whole shebang. I think it's a really good thing to invest in if you're really serious about voiceover acting, and I highly recommend it. It's got me through most of my voiceover jobs, like it's made most of my voiceover career, essentially. So yeah, I really do recommend this one. But don't worry, if you're curious of what I have in my home studio, I will make a video shortly of going in depth of everything that I've bought specifically for voiceover. So stay tuned for that. The third one for finding voiceover jobs is freelance websites. Basically what you do is you sign up to them and they will take a commission from your jobs. Now it depends on what website you go with, depend on the amounts that they take, but average is between like 10 to 20% of your job. And sometimes, a little note, I learned this the hard way, sometimes when it goes through like PayPal and things like that, they also tax it as well, obviously when it's abroad. A lot of the websites that I personally use are in dollars, so the exchange is a bit different and there's a bit of currency things and blah 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 blah. So just be expected to lose a little bit from that. But to help you on these websites, I would say if you can offer a demo or a voiceover reel on what you can provide. Granted, this one is particularly for people who do have home facilities for voiceover, but some of them, they do say in their descriptions that they can bring you into their studio or, you know, pay for you to come into a studio and things like that. So don't be too hesitant about them, just check them out, see what you think. And it just gives you a bit of a better idea of what types of voiceover jobs are out there and what you might be thinking of getting into. Fourth one is acting websites. Now, I'm seeing this come up a lot more than it used to when I first started in voiceover, that a lot of the acting websites are asking for voiceover people. And before you say anything, a lot of them want you to come into their facilities to record it. So if you don't have a home studio, don't worry about it. A lot of these ones are actually a lot more facilitating for that, and they request for an actor who can do voiceover abilities. And a really good one that I've noticed with a lot of the acting websites for this, they are looking for people who can do all sorts of languages, all sorts of accents and things like that. So it's really a lot more inclusive now, and people just want the diversity in languages and accents and things like that. So it's a really great place to start. Don't ever be hesitant on what you sound like, because the more original you sound, the better you're going to do in the voiceover industry, I personally believe. Having different accents and being able to speak languages is such a beneficial thing to have in voiceover. Like, I envy you that you can do languages and things like that. Like, it's such a gift. And once you realise how unique and original you are, and there's only one of you, the better you'll be able to kind of tackle and putting yourself out there and basically just pitch yourself for why they should hire you, because they should. Fifth one is contacting companies. Am I even recording? Oh, thank God. Okay. I thought that was recording. Fifth one is contacting companies. And what I mean by this is contacting companies that actually do a lot of voiceover. For example, gaming studios. They're literally one of the biggest ones to do voiceover stuff, or radios or commercials, things like that. They're always looking for voiceover people. And in my experience, because I didn't have those connections, I didn't have those links, I didn't have an agent in voiceover, I just contacted them. Literally, I sent all my experience, what I can do, and my demos. Little note, it's best to send links to your stuff instead of the actual file in the email, just because it doesn't clog up their emails. A lot of time they request that. So if they don't state something like that, best to just send links. It's a lot easier. But once you send it to them, the worst that they can do is say no, or they're going to ignore it. And my personal experience, as I said, I've got voiceover jobs from this. So you just have to be keen and active and hope for the best. And sometimes for the bigger companies, they will have on their websites how they like to deal with demos and things like that. So as long as you just follow what they say, you're all peachy. Peachy? Does that even make sense? You know what I mean. All peachy. Yeah, that's alright. Sixth one is networking. Yes, I know you've heard this all the time in every single way of this industry, but it really does help. You know, just connecting with people from these companies that you want to work with is a massive benefit than before. For example, if you're on LinkedIn, go to the company, find everyone who works there and just start connecting. Maybe just send them a little introduction message of why obviously you're adding them, and try and find the right person for obviously your field that you want to go into, or who does the castings for the voiceover and things like that, because again, you never know. There's no harm worth trying. Try to follow them on social media, see what projects they're on, what's coming up. And if you're able to link your personal skills to something that's about to come out and you think you're perfect for that role, it gives you more substance of what you can say to them, why they should hire you and why you are perfect for this role. Don't get me wrong, I know you have to be quite bold for this. I've learned this over time and my emails have got better and things like that. But, you know, just try to keep it short and sweet. Double check over your writing and your spelling. Definitely a note for Gemma, I'm terrible with my spelling. But yeah, things like that, it's really good to just connect with people online because it's so accessible these days and you could get really lucky. And as they say, it's all about luck in the industry, but you have to make your own luck. Seventh one is radio stations. Now, I briefly touched on that before, but a lot of time radio stations, they want to introduce new people to be the hosts. A lot of ones that I've seen over the years, if it's not actually a job position, it's like a voluntary position and you get to learn the ins and out of radio essentially. So if this is a field that you really like to get into and learn everything about it, because it's so different to just recording voiceovers, you know, in your home and sending it to the person. Like when it's live, there's so much to do with it, and yeah, it's a great field to learn. Just contact your local radio stations to see what they're offering, any apprenticeships, interns, voluntary, part-time, you name it. There's always something possibly available. Just keep an eye on their websites, let them know that you're interested, and yeah, again, you could get lucky. And the final one, little bit like networking, is social media posts. And this will be job castings that are posted on social media. Over the years, I really have noticed so many different people posting the casting calls on their social media websites because it's a quick and easy way to get it out to the people who are following them. And often or not, if they're producers, companies, directors, things like that who are involved in the voiceover process, often or not, there's going to be lots of actors, voiceover artists, creatives, you name it, who are basically following to see if they can see these castings. And again, I have landed some of these jobs this way, voiceover and acting. Like, follow the people who you're interested in working in, because it's great to see the posts and what they're doing, but you can get really lucky and see if they are actually posting any casting calls that they're like, we need someone tonight who can be in London in the next 24 hours, who has the recording facilities, who can do this right now. Or they're just asking for something so specific that it can take ages putting it out to all the agents and things like that, where they can just find you in literally a second. So yeah, again, look at people's social medias, see what they're posting, and often not, you will see a lot of casting calls. And to be honest, this kind of applies to most people in most industries, is that I've seen such a growth of people posting job posts and opportunities on their social media because, you know, the people who are following are interested in those fields. So no matter what you do, what you're interested in and getting in. Follow the people that you would love to work with and work alongside. And yeah, I bet you will see at least one job post. I bet you. So that's all for today. I just wanted to post a handful of ideas of how you can get into voiceover acting right now and just start researching, learning and getting to know this industry. Of course, I know voiceover can be hard to get into. Like, it's just like acting, motion capture. It can be such a quite knit industry. It can be hard to break through. But personally, and in my experience, it just takes time, effort and just persistence and you will get into there. And like I said, it's just putting all that groundwork in to understanding and knowing the industry like the back of your hand to be able to allow you to do your job a lot better when you get the role. And you'll be so much more prepared after the time and research that you've put into getting to know the voiceover industry, and it will really pay off in your performance and your presence as yourself as well. Because as they say, the more you can offer and the more you know, the better chances you are at possibly getting the role. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, but I really hope this helped. And again, if you've got any questions, just let me know in the comments. Make sure that you subscribe because I've got so many more videos to come. And yeah, I just hope you enjoy. But anyway, have a good evening, good night, wherever you are, and take care. All right, bye.